All right, today we're going to be talking about the confidence exercise. So, my initial thoughts on confidence and how it relates to creating video content. For me personally, because I'm a filmmaker whose motivation mainly goes for storytelling, making sketches and skits, my confidence would have to come from inspiration. Inspiration and motivation, specifically. So, for me, I take a lot of inspiration from other sketch channels and TV shows specifically. Um, Primary ones would probably be between Smosh, and then there was Darman, and then TV shows like iCarly, Victorious. And I guess, like, for me, it was the type of filmmaking that caught my eye because ever since I was a kid, I always thought it would be cool to actually tell a story and turn it into a video. So the way this would relate to creating video content, it would simply just be the way of finding types of projects that you are motivated by, giving you the inspiration to want to actually pursue creating your own video projects, to see where your creativity may come from. So it all relates based on whatever motivates you and what gives you that inspiration to pursue filmmaking yourself. So, the key insights. I would say, this, by the key insights that I've gained about internal and external confidence and how they impact my content creation journey, I guess in the main way, it's just mainly approving as I go. I'm not a perfect filmmaker. I am still somewhat of a beginner. Only difference is compared to when I actually started back in high school, I was an amateur filmmaker. But now I'm more of a beginner because I'm still somewhat in the early steps of my film journey, and sorry, I'm like stuttering a lot in this. This is not scripted. But for me personally, I learn as I go. I've had a film teacher back in high school who would teach me the ropes, and then I have a professor in Delta that's helping me through it too. So I would say for me personally, because I improve as I go, I'm learning something new every day when it comes to filmmaking and how to handle it, and specifically exploring the many genres of film rather than just story writing. There's multiple types of filmmaking as well. There's documentary, there's journalism, there's there's a whole lot of variety. Now for the internal confidence in terms of my self-awareness and authenticity, I would say it's more of like putting in trust for what I create. I take risks basically. Because if you don't take risks, then you're basically holding back your talent. And one of the biggest risks that I've taken would have to be the fact that I've started recruiting people, and they started off as just recruiting actors, but now they went from actors to crew members, in which they're helping me develop films behind the scenes. And of course, their primary role is still acting, but like they're trying out other stuff to get into the film experience as well. And there were times where I did lose confidence, but based on my self-acceptance, I wouldn't let it happen. Because there have been times where I felt like film wasn't the right choice for me, but I've proven myself wrong many times. So I kept going. And based on what I've seen so far, I've been making really good progress. And, if it wasn't for the crew that I formed, I'd probably still be an amateur filmmaker. External confidence. Like I said before, I'm not a perfect filmmaker. So I have faced many moments when I had to face constructive criticism on my content, and where certain things are approved and where certain things aren't approved. Because as a beginner, in terms of anything, not just film, but as a beginner, you're basically the student. You're basically learning the steps to reach your goals. And the only way to do that is approval. You can't always succeed if you don't fail sometimes. And I'm not encouraging people to fail when I say this, because when you fail, like sometimes that's unintentional. But when things don't go to plan in film projects, and when they tell you this, they're not saying it to be jerks. They're saying it because they're trying to help you go up a higher step. Constructive criticism for improvement is very important. And when you take those steps of constructive criticism, you will find approval. But just because you face constructive criticism, it doesn't mean you take it the wrong way. Never have that mindset saying, oh, I'm not good enough then because I made this mistake, I made that mistake. That's never the case. Constructive criticism is meant to help you improve as a filmmaker. And like I said, this isn't just apply to film, this applies to everything in life. The only way to boost your spiritual confidence and your inner confidence is by taking advice from other people. Most importantly, if they are your film instructors, because they know what they're doing. They've been through this experience. And just like you, they were also beginners. So as long as you're looking for approval to seek improvement, you're on the right steps. Action steps. There are specific steps that I would be willing to take to build my confidence as a content creator. You know, I watch a lot of film channels on YouTube and on TV, like a bunch of TV shows. Sitcoms always caught my attention, but for me personally, I see it as a great way to share your creativity to the public. But as a beginner, I'm willing to take any step. I would love to learn really cool editing effects that you even see in movies. That's a lot of advanced stuff, and I know I'm eventually going to probably learn those along the way. But a specific step that I will take is collaboration. I don't typically collaborate with too many people outside my crew, but it is something I am willing to try out because I want to see what people's creativities are like outside CJ Studios. And I want to see where their inspiration comes from, see what their perspective of filmmaking is. Because to prove you're a good collaborative partner, you have to see what the other person's point of views are, and they'd have to see what your point of views are. And I know there is such thing as creative differences, but in order to prevent a partnership from falling apart, there's a way to handle that. And the way to handle that is to see their point of view and for them to see your point of view, and most importantly, how they're going to work around it. Because you're always going to have different ideas when it comes to collaboration. So in this term of collaboration right here in a partnership, you have to learn about the other filmmaker's perspectives while they learn about yours. That way you can see what you can come up with together. And I know this whole project's about confidence, and I'll even tell you this. I may have been on everybody's screens on the internet numerous times, but you can see I'm still kind of stuttering here and there. And I actually do that behind the scenes in anything I produce. Because the difference here is that this is raw and unedited right here. This is basically something that, I keep pausing it, but I'm boosting my confidence. That way I don't have to start over multiple times, because this is like my third or fourth take right here. But I think as long as you follow all those steps, though, you'll be a successful filmmaker. And I guess that's pretty much all I have to say.